Now, the story between the iPhone Pro and the iPhone Pro Maxes is a very interesting one because there never is an exact answer to which specific model is the perfect one for everybody, because it is such a use case basis that it is pretty much like, oh, if it's, perfect for you, it may not be perfect for somebody else. And in this specific case, if it's between an iPhone Pro model or an iPhone Pro Max model, which specific one should you go ahead and buy? And in my opinion, I don't think, like I said, there's a specific one that, somebody should buy over the other one. But for your use case, it really depends on if you like a bigger phone or if you like a smaller phone. Apple has made it pretty clear to us at this point that the difference between a Pro Max and a Pro iPhone, there really aren't as many differences as you probably think there are. There's a $100 price difference between these two as of right now. The iPhone 15s could potentially change this. But from a pricing strategy, you are spending more money on the Pro Max model, so you should be expected to get a better phone because you're spending more money, right? And in some ways that is true. The 14 Plus to an iPhone 14 Pro Max or an iPhone 14 to an iPhone 14 Pro, there's a couple $100 differences between those two prices, and there's a way bigger difference between those two devices than the Pro and Pro Max models. So that's kind of like a minor thing to keep in mind. You aren't getting that big of a jump going from a Pro to a Pro Max, even though you're getting a 10% price increase going from one to the other. The screens are basically almost identically the same. They're usually very, very similar. The dynamic island and everything so far is probably going beyond them in the future. But even if you look at past models, the 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max, 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max, every single one of those models are pretty much so similar it's not even funny. And before, there were kind of more differences, to be honest. But now there's just so many similarities. They're just basically the same type of device, but one is just bigger. So what are you getting with that $100 price increase? The first thing, you are getting that bigger display. Some people actually prefer a larger display, which some people may not. But in this case, if you do like a bigger display, you are actually getting that on the iPhone Pro Max in this specific case. It's a very large display, 6.7 inches, and they're probably only going to be getting bigger and bigger. But when you look at the iPhone 14 Pro model, it's not like this panel is bad. And if you like a smaller phone, then this model is probably more perfect for you. I know for me personally, the Pro is probably the better one. But the Pro Max, for those of you who actually do like having a bigger display, and if you like gaming a lot, if you like having a bigger display in front of you, definitely the Pro Max is the one that probably makes the most amount of sense in my opinion. But you are also getting a bigger sized battery. And this, I think, is probably the bigger thing where I look at the Pro Max model. The one area where I'm actually kind of jealous a little bit, because the Pro Maxes actually do give you a much better battery life than the standard Pro models. So with the iPhone 14 Pro in this specific situation, you're getting up to 23 hours of video playback. That's kind of what Apple suggests. They're, testing. That's what they've showed us. With the iPhone Pro Max, 14 Pro Max, you're getting 29 hours of video playback. That is actually a pretty big difference. 7 hours. That's like another 3-hour car ride both ways, 3.5, whatever. That is a very big difference. So if you're somebody who actually wants a bigger sized phone, then that's perfect, but you're also getting a bigger sized battery at the exact same time as well. Beyond that though, those are pretty much the main differences. You're pretty much getting everything else identically almost the same. Again, the sizes are different, but the performance is going to be about the same. The cameras are going to be about the same. The features, the software longevity, the apps you can download, everything across the board is pretty much going to be identically the same, except for the size and the price tag and the size of the battery. So in my opinion, which you should buy, I think on average, more people will probably end up buying the Pro model. I think that's the one that's more comfortable to most people. But I think the Pro Max, if you're comfortable with a bigger size, it's kind of a no-brainer, to be honest. Like that one is a very, very solid phone that I like a lot. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.